I don't know. Thought I'd stream again. Thought that might be fun. I used to do this a lot. I tried to open the window here because I thought that would be a good visual. And then I totally fucked it up. And now it's like this. So I just got my sketchbook here. I'm just doodling. People are curious stuff I've drawn. Drew this a few days ago. I like that drawing. I think I did really good on that drawing. Let's see, what else have I drawn? Oh, I drew this. One day I'll finish these drawings and actually like ink them. Just had a little bit of food. God, I hate that so much. I hate this. How did I screw this up so badly? How did I? Oh, I'm just making it worse. I'm just making it worse. I'm just making it worse. No matter what I do, I'm making it worse. Okay. I guess I could watch TV. I keep it at a low volume. The middle of the night on 11:24 on Tuesday is, a really good stream. Time to stream, I think. People usually come out for that. That's what I think usually. Food. There. Hello, Joseph. Hello, hello, hello. Joseph Funk. How's it going? Hello, Shepherd. Good to see you. How goes it on this lovely night? I'm good. Just kicking back and relaxing and oh, happy birthday, Joseph. Happy birthday. I'm glad to hear it. Did you do anything or did you do it well, words. Did you do anything fun or is the fun happening tomorrow? Hello, Jeremiah. It goes good, Bennett. It goes good. You want some Pokemon cards? What cards are you looking for? It goes good. It goes good, Bennett. I'm talking to all the best people online. Yeah, I have some too. I have some old ones that I've held on to a lot of the Pokemon cards I had when I was a kid. 19. I have that. I think I do. Yeah, I'm almost certain I do. I have at least one. Hello, Mort. Hello, Mort Pork. Hi, how's it going? Who's your favorite Pokemon, Joseph? Actually, question for the whole group. Who's your favorite Pokemon? This week, I've gotten a lot of writing accomplished. I'm almost certain I do somewhere. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of writing accomplished. I'm a writer. And I've got. I mean, I'd have to look through my collection, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it in there before, so I'm pretty sure I have one. Yeah, I'm a writer. I've actually been published. I promised people I'd stop bringing it up immediately, but I have yet to not to. Ooh. It's all the way in the garage. I don't feel like it's cold out and it's all the way in the garage. And I don't feel like going up to get it. Maybe later. Maybe later. Bennett, I can say without hyperbole, that is legitimately a very cool thing to do. What? I never got to forge an axe in school. That is awesome. What is this, like trigonometry class or something? Or I like. My name is Sean. You can just call me Sean. I like to imagine that it's like in the middle of like trigonometry class. It's like, okay, now we're just gonna learn how to forge an axe, and that's just gonna be what it is. Hello, Joseph. Sean, Shepherd. Sean. Shepherd, I am good. I am good. I like science too. I am good. I'm in a good mood generally. Just made myself a little bit of dinner, and I was like, "Yeah, screw it. Let's stream for a minute." Um, I history was my favorite. Thank you. You seem nice too. History was my favorite subject. What is this? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't great at math. Yeah. No, I wasn't particularly good at math. Like, I don't know. Wish I had. Nice. That's good. Um, yes, this. Yeah. I did good enough in math that I didn't have to take any college equivalency courses. So I was proud of that. If you have ever, so here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I guess if I could give some advice, um, the real test you have to be afraid of are these college equivalency courses. If you're going to college, nobody ever talks about them. No, I'm an adult. Nobody ever nobody ever talks about them because it's like but they'll determine how many like basic level math or English classes you have to take till you can start doing real college. So that's the test. Those are the tests you have to really be. You're in the 5th grade. Yeah, don't reveal like yeah. Tato, hey Tato, how's it going today, yo? Ah, oh, you're in the 11th grade. Yeah, yeah. Good to see you. It's been a long night, a long time to see you. Yeah. So yeah. Um, but you know, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Don't. Yeah. So what do you guys do? What's like hobbies for you guys? Shepherd, very good. Go to bed. Go to bed. What are you doing, Tato? Oh yes, good. Yes, good. Good, Tato. Good. I agree. Night, Shepherd. You're not tired? Yeah. Yeah, you are correct, Tato. Yeah, it's 11 for me. It's 11:32. Um, so w- what's everybody's hobbies these days? What's everybody watching or I don't know. No, I imagine so. Mine is hasn't been great either. Tato, go to bed. Go to bed. It's good to see you again, but go to bed. I mean, that's a weird question because it's like technically this was just my personal. Really, that's cool. That's cool, Tato. I like that. Um, when I started YouTube, I started like almost a decade ago. This channel, but I never really used it all that much beyond like a few things. Um, and then I did. Then when COVID happened, I started doing more stuff on it. Um, and I'm not like, you know, I'm still not really sure what I'm doing with this honestly. I don't know if I want to be like a full-on essayist or just this is just something I do as a hobby. Well, yeah, but it wasn't real. Like it wasn't real. This was just like a thing I uploaded a few videos to when I was like in college, and then it was just like my personal account for a while. Um, you know, yeah, and then like around COVID, and not even really then, but like 2 or 3 years ago, I started to take this a little bit more seriously and started to do these streams and stuff. So yeah, so I have I don't know. I've probably been doing this longer than I care to admit to myself, but uh, you know, hasn't been like I've been like the most hyper successful dude in the world at this, but I have fun when I do it. I do. I mostly like shorts and stuff, but it's been fun. I consider myself more of like a writer guy, and I don't know. I just talk about things that interest me. A lot of comic books. Sure. It won't be that interesting, but we can do a fridge tour. Never. Hey, Zod. Hello, hello. Let's see. How's it going? Good to see you. I saw that, man. I saw that. Congratulations. The people have requested. The people have requested a look inside my fridge. That sounds hard. Everybody congratulate Zod. He just wrote a book. Okay. My fridge. Woo, fridge. Fridge. Beautiful fridge. Freezer. Yeah. Is it? Woo, apples. Okay, so I thought this would be a nice atmosphere, this whole thing, if I pulled this up, but I totally screwed it up, and now it's all like, yes. Oh, we're gonna make. Oh my god, I keep making it worse. I keep making it worse. No, I'll just let it. It's there. It's there. What's your yeah, let me go to Apple. It'll stay. It'll stay. So, Zod, never. Which was this the vigilante thing you've been talking about? Um, this is the vigilante. Thank you so much. I appreciate that immensely, Joseph. You have no idea. Um, yeah. Okay, I like that so far. That's fun. Well, crazy tends to follow a superhero. So, that is the true nature of superheroism. Well, Joseph, if that is your dream, I don't know. If that's your dream, yeah, I'll never talk somebody else out of following their dreams. Um, you know, but you have to just really think if that's really the pursuit you want. Eh, nobody wants. Well, be like me, but be successful. Yeah, yeah. No, but man, celebrate yourself, Zod. Take a walk around, high fiving people. Yeah, thank you. Well, you know, I don't even know what is my oldest short. I don't even remember. I get better. I get. I don't even remember, dude. I don't even remember what my first short is. Jeez, that was so long ago. 1 second. I do get better. I do get better. I get a lot. I do get a lot better. Uh, oh God, those right. Let's see. Is that? Oh, is that the? Yeah, yeah. I thought I deleted most of those. Is that the King of the? Yeah, the King of the Hill thing. I was just putting random things out that I thought was funny. Thank you. Mm, So I got. Oh, sorry. Let's see. This is the other one I made with. I was just playing with like an app. Hi, funny. Hi, welcome to the stream. I thought I had deleted it. So. Oh, no. I deleted the wrong one. Oh, well. Oh, welcome to the stream, funny. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Yeah. I have another one. I don't know if I ever posted that one where I had him like singing White Rabbit from Jefferson Airplane. Yeah. Um, by the way, I really liked the King of the Hill revival reboot that they did. Um, it was really good. If people have seen it. So Never, aka Zod. He's Nevermore on Twitch, but Zod on here. What did you do to celebrate? Um, what did you do to celebrate finishing your story? What did you do to What did you do to Zodabrate? Oh, but that's not that different from what you do most days. That is the correct response. No, but you deserve to have just a little bit of a good time, I think. Yeah. Yeah. I usually I usually put in the bat. I usually put in like the drawer, the metaphorical drawer. Honestly, that's writing is real fun, but by the time you get into like my favorite drink, um, I don't know. I drink gallons of the sparkling water. I drink that every day. It's probably my favorite. Um, yeah. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, writing is fun, but once you get into kind of the weeds, it can be a little exhausting. Yeah, that's good. I'm constantly, yeah. I mean, Baja Blast Mountain Dew is great. It is exhausting. I mean, I will say, sending stuff out is probably the easiest part of the whole like writing job, in the sense that you don't really have to think about it all that much. Um, yeah. Yeah, it's because you're just like, I want this done. I want this done. Yeah. But I will say, as sending it out is probably like relatively like laid back in comparison, because you don't really even have to think about it all that much. Have I Zod, let me suggest you a site. Okay, so Joseph, funny story about this. I got Nightbot because we were having a little bit of an issue with trolls. Um, uh, uh, but the troll Nightbot never blocked the trolls and only blocked people I knew, so I removed its mod privileges, but it's still on the thing. So you can mess with Nightbot all you want. It won't do anything. Yeah. Uh, okay, Zod, I want you to write down a website I'm going to suggest you. It's called Chill Subs. To me, it's one of the best submission portals out there, and it's so for fiction writers. Yeah, um, when you're ready, when you're ready, hmm When you're ready, look it up. Yeah, obviously. Everybody does. So, Joseph, uh, is your big dream to be a YouTuber? I mean, now especially, I think it's. Oh, okay. I heart feet. I heart toes. Um, who would you say besides me? Obviously, who would you say are some of your favorite YouTubers? I'm just looking at chill sub. This is chill subs. Oh, okay. So I guessed it. I'm just looking at stuff. Um, I don't know why I like feet. Let's see. Of course, Clark's World is here. See, as a published, sorry, I got distracted. As a published humor writer, Zod, have you seen Night of the Seven Kingdoms yet? Yeah, I like that novella a lot. I really like that novella. Uh, it's good. The show's really good. It does a pretty good job adapting it. Um, it really is. It's really quite good. It's funny. I think I've talked to you about this before. It is very much. It's like an older fantasy story in a weird way. Yeah. People are complaining that the Laughing Storm isn't also super tall, but I don't know. That feels like as much as you can. I don't know. I think people are being a little weird about that. Um, yeah, I've talked about me. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus from internet stuff, but I'm trying. I think I'm trying to get back to doing it a little bit. Yeah, more regularly. Yeah, it's they adapted it very well. I find that complaint really annoying. It's like, well, he's not tall, so um, he, he's currently my favorite character, the Laughing Storm. Uh, Besides Dunk and Egg. Um, yeah, so it's just I don't know. This is a rant. It's weird how different it feels, even though like arguably Dunk is a more traditional fantasy protagonist in a weird way. Yeah. What if instead of him releasing Winds of Winter altogether, he releases it? Okay, Joseph, it was nice meeting you. What if instead of releasing Winds of Winter, he releases altogether as one? Here's a pick. We set George R. R. Martin up with a Royal Road account. Yeah. And and he releases it. No, we set him up with a Wattpad account. We set George R. R. Martin up with a Wattpad account, and we just have him release it chapter by chapter. Well, they're a lot. They're quite funny. They're quite a bit more lighthearted. I think we could get. I think we could talk him into doing Wattpad. Obviously, he'd have to write a story about. Of course, I remember One Car. Why? Why? Does he have a Wattpad account? Yeah. Yeah. Have I seen that? I think I've seen that one. I'm almost certain I've seen Ashes of Time. Yes, Chunking Express is a masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. God, that was such a good movie. Yeah, I should rewatch. I know there's a sequel. There's a semi sequel to it out. That I have not seen yet, so I should watch that. Yeah, I have seen Ashes of Time was an amazing movie. If people haven't seen that, that is an amazing movie. Yes, I have seen this. That I was right. Yes, I was pretty sure I'd seen it. I believe there's even a review of it on this channel somewhere. But yeah, Ashes of Time is a brilliant movie. I really Chunking Express, of course, is. I know I'm saying it wrong. I apologize, but those are both really good movies. I know there's a sequel. Yeah, I know there's almost a semi sequel. It's funny. Watching that, being as I don't. Yeah, yeah. What's interesting about that, and I didn't know that going in because I didn't pick up on this. I didn't know the references and stuff, but it's essentially a prequel to a novel or a novel series. Um, and going in, it's very weird to watch a prequel to something you've never read before, which is very interesting. Um, yeah, no, Ashes. No, that's Ashes Time is great. John Appleby's a hero, a legend. Um, a man who can do anything and be anyone. Yeah, no. Um, yeah. How's it going, Bruce Wayne? Yeah, it's going good. Just hanging out with people, getting to see all the old faces again, meeting some new. Fallen Angels. Yep. Yeah, so Express was meant to be 3 stories, if you don't know. I haven't seen Fallen Angels yet. I've seen clips of it. I need to. That's one I need to get on. Um, Welcome back, Joseph. Express was meant to be 3 stories, but Fallen Angels proved was starting to get so long that he separated it and made it its own thing. So that's why 2012 was okay. Yeah. No, I love those types of movies. Yeah. Um, he saved us all. Johnny Applebee's the third. Yet Johnny Applebee's the first. Thank you. It comes from not combing. Um, I get. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, Bruce. See you in a bit. Yeah, it's about to hit 12 for me. Well, we'll do this for a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, I like he has a very like because he doesn't really totally like he kind of doesn't totally figure out exactly um he kind of it's semi improvised his movies, which is kind of interesting, and he doesn't totally like figure everything out. It's it from that's what I read years ago. Yeah. I mean, he makes good movies. You have to be a very particular guy to be able to do that, though. Um, Terrence Malick also does that. Does that? Robert Altman likes to do that. It's a very particular like person who can pull that off. Of like, um, and some of Terrence Malick's later movies prove it's not always easy to pull it off. But that is a style of filmmaking, but it is a very difficult style of filmmaking to get right. Lynch can do that. And then, like the guy who does, I don't know. Yeah, it is you have to have one, be quite a good director to do that, and two, have a very dedicated team willing to follow you on this, which, I mean, half of being a good director is, yeah. Scorsese will do that sometimes. Sometimes he'll have a script that he plans out very extensively. It's a very 70s, that was, it's a very 70s way of doing things, which creates a lot more of like, have you ever seen any Robert Altman movies, Zod? If you haven't, they're pretty great. Robert Altman does that a lot. His stuff is very like chaos on top of chaos sort of thing. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, you have like, I don't know, like Tarantino or somebody, or like Fincher, who is very like script oriented, and then you have like other directors who are, I mean, okay, it can get kind of MASH is definitely that sort of movie. You know what show I've been rewatching lately, Zod? Yeah. Plug it in, Joseph. And you're about my age, Zod. You might know this show. Do you remember Malcolm in the Middle? I've been rewatching that lately. There's going to be a little mini reboot happening in a... Run, Joseph. Legs, arms. Yeah. Yeah. I've been rewatching that lately. That was like my favorite show, one of my favorite shows as a kid. And I've been rewatching it partly because they just announced that the reboot is happening. It's not a full series. It's just going to be a little mini series. It's going to be a mini series of 4 episodes that they're doing. So I wanted to rewatch it. Anyways, what was I saying? I was thinking to myself, God, how nice it is that Malcolm in the Middle is quite script driven, because then they can do like all these, yay, woo! They can do all these like visual jokes and stuff that like more improv heavy shows and movies can't do. And, you know, as somebody who has dedicated a good decade of his life to doing theater improv, I do like improv. I do think there's a strong, you can create really funny material with that. But sometimes with these improv heavy movies where it's like, we're not going to really, it's just going to be a series of scenes. And yeah, somebody's going to technically write it. Like comedies in like the 2000s were plagued by these sorts of movies. Every year it'd come out and it would be these like half-written films that where it was barely directed, and the actors would just do nothing but improvise the whole time. And it could be funny. They could be funny, but they also could be pretty tedious to watch at the same time. Like, I remember watching so many of those, and I remember almost none of them by the end of it. Yeah. Everybody in my house is sleeping as well. I'm the only one up. So we're going to scream loud noises to wake them up. Loud noises. Loud noises. Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of comedy directors just wouldn't like direct comedy. Yeah. Which are very much that, yeah. Yeah, of course I remember Lars von Trier and all that. Loud noises. We're making loud noises. Yeah. Yeah. Joseph, tell me a little bit about yourself. So, have you watched him? What's your favorite movie, Joseph? Yeah. But I don't know. Malik beats the problem with like improv can be quite flat. Malik beats the problem with improv can be quite flatly filmed by filming almost exclusively on Steadicams, which I always thought was a really clever way of doing it. But one of my favorite streams we did a long time. Well, that's a great movie. Yeah, no, that's so good. I love that movie. I think that's my favorite Pixar movie is Wall-E. Yeah. Wall-E? You haven't seen Wall-E? Who's your favorite character, Joseph, in Wall-E? Yeah. Andrew Stanton. It's Andrew Station. Is, by the way, the guy who directed that. He then went on to direct the greatest movie anybody has ever seen, John Carter. Okay. Andrew Stanton? In the blink of he directed another one. Oh. Kate McKinnon? What is this? Oh man. I do love a good mango. I love mangoes. Um, Nothing's better than a good mango. Yeah. I am determined this year to watch all the Oscar nominees. I think I do. Yes. I'll send you one. Look in the mail. In 3 weeks, you'll get a mango. No, I'm kidding. Um, yeah, any movies we're looking forward to? I still haven't seen Marty Supreme. I really want to see that. Um, Zod? Nah. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things to talk about. We'll try and go for about an hour, I think. That should be good enough. He's still here. He's still here. He's still I know Zod. Zod doesn't. Ooh. Uh, did you see? Yeah. Okay. What's hilarious? Sorry. I'm just looking at some stuff. Um. Uh. Um. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we can do it right here. Oh, come on. There it is. Is it the ending? I'm just looking. That's okay. Pursue your interests open. Pursue things your interests openly. Talk about things you like, things you appreciate with people. Yeah, and things you appreciate with people. Find somebody who shares your ideals, your outlook, and meshes well with your personality. And always be kind and courteous. Always be kind and courteous to people. Um, we'll talk to her. I mean, that's the first trick. There's no real greater trick than that. Is just go up and talk to her. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Talk to her. Treat her like a person. And if she doesn't feel the same way, accept that with dignity and honor. You'll be surprised. Joseph. Let me tell you something. I'm going to share a little fun fact about life. You'll be surprised how far you can get in life if you just go up. Well, Joseph, do you really want to spend your time pursuing somebody who doesn't like you then? Is that. Hi, Zilla. Welcome. I appreciate it. I am a smallest of small. What is Throughout the Gods Gorilla Tag? How's it going? Welcome. Yeah, exactly. Don't waste your time on somebody who doesn't like you. There's somebody out there who will. I get it. Hello, Zilla. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Don't whatever you do, don't spend years pining after a girl. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Um. Talk to a different girl. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I hope we can. Uh. If not, I hope we can at least offer momentary relief. What? Yeah. You're young, Joseph. Trust me. Other girls will come. Thank you, Zilla. Um. Trust me. This is the start of a journey, Joseph, not the end. So, Zilla, are you? I take it. I'm going to guess you might be into Godzilla and VR. Am I right about one of those? So it's just not going to work. It's not going to work out, Joseph. Trust me. There's better things to do. You have better things to do with your time than try and pursue a girl who's not that into you. So Joseph, I want to lay out the facts here. She doesn't like you. She'll be leaving soon. So she's a girl who doesn't like you and will also not be here soon. I really don't think I don't think this is happening. Trust me, Joe. You will. There's others. You'll find others pretty quickly. Well, yeah. Zod is right. Have you told her how you feel? I mean, to be fair, Zod, that is. Yeah. And if she says no, oh, Joseph, then you haven't even tried yet. Yeah, you're allowed to. Yeah, you're allowed. You're allowed to. You're allowed to. You're allowed to. Okay, if she's leaving, Joseph, I don't want to pressure you, but you do. There is a time limit on all this. Robin. Yeah, there is. Oh, so have you told her your feelings? Yeah, Joseph. Sometimes you just have to ask. Sometimes the best things in life are you're gonna have to. The best things in life, you're just gonna have to work up and beat back your awkwardness. I know I'm an awkward person too, but sometimes you have to stand up for yourself in that way. Robin, how's it going? Uh I know. I know. I know it's hard. You don't also keep in mind, Joseph, you're young. It, it's not the end of the world, but just keep that in mind. Yeah. No, Joseph, I'm happy. No, Joseph, Joe. I've been there. No, Joseph. I'm happy to help. I really am. I'm happy to help. I've been in this exact situation before in my life. And yeah, don't be sorry. These no, don't be sorry. Yeah, we've all been there. I think everybody in the chat has had this exact thing happen to them. And it's yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, no. I've never had an experience where I've been desperately in love with a girl and she doesn't look at me that way and never will. Ah, ah, certainly not a thing I've ever had to deal with. Yeah, cool guy who always went after the person he liked and didn't bitterly regret it for the rest of his life. Robin, how's it going? Anyways, it's not like it's not. I know it seems a lot, Joseph. I know it seems a lot, but believe me, it 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 won't be as big a deal as you think it is. Like that's life kind of um um so you know you might get rejected, but Joseph, also, I'll throw this out there. I'll throw this out there for you. You know this girl is leaving eventually. Um, she'll be leaving pretty soon. So even if she does reject you, you won't have to spend much time with her. You know, she could say yes, and then you could be in a relationship, or she could say no, and then she'll be headed off to somewhere else after pretty soon. So either or, either or, you're actually in a pretty strong position. You're actually in a pretty strong position. Um, yeah. So comic books, huh? Anybody want to talk about comics? Um, like I've read any in a while. I don't know. I got pretty. I don't know. It was I used to read a lot of comics, and then I got kind of burnt out on them. I don't know. Yes, you should ask her. Ask her. Ask her, Joseph. No, ask her. Always a good time to read Hellboy. Ask her. That's what I'm saying, Joseph. And you have kind of essentially a perfect fallout plan because she's leaving. She's leaving, so even if it goes badly, there won't be that awkwardness. Yes, ask her, Joseph. The worst thing she can do is say no. The worst thing she can do is say no, and then you'll know. Then you'll know. Then you won't have to ever. Then you won't ever have to worry about whether it was you missed your chance because you'll know. Yeah, Hellboy is great. I love Hellboy so much. I'm surprised. Yeah, I don't know. People should get. I don't know. People should get more into Hellboy. We should start doing fandom stuff for Hellboy and forget yeah. Did you hear that Image apparently is trying to do its own interconnected universe again? Like it started a new one just for itself. I'm surprised. Some yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a whole new Image universe coming out. Or is out. I need to get on it. Yeah. I do like anime. I've gotten into it more lately. I've liked it for a while, but I've been watching it more than I used to. What's your favorite anime, Joseph? Well, okay. So Invincible is Robert Kirkland's thing. That's his kind of his. Yeah, yeah. One Piece is cool. Um, yeah, yeah. But that's like okay. So yeah, Invincible, Witchblade. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's like that only comes about with agreement to like all the creators, because those are all individual creator owned, and I think this is a thing Image itself is producing. Yeah, but yeah, Image doesn't work like um, Marvel or DC. All the creators own those characters. Um, so to team up with them, that has to come about an agreement. You can't do like just consistent crossovers like Marvel and DC do, which uh, it is good because it helps keep continuity down a little bit. Yeah. Maybe. Hello, Susie. Don't. Dunk the Titan. Hello, hello. What's tomorrow? Is tomorrow Friday? Sure, I'll try. It'll probably just be like low key streams like this. Hello, Susie. For a minute, we do art streams on here for a while. Okay, so part of it is my chair broke a few weeks ago, and I've been nervous to sit on it again. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Susie. Okay, Joe. We'll go with Joe. I know somebody else whose name is Funk. I know another Funk in my life. You're the second Funk I know in my life. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Susie. What do you do? What's your favorite anime? Okay, what's your favorite anime? What's your favorite superhero? And JoJo. Oh yeah, okay. Wait, do you want to be called JoJo? We can call you JoJo. You and your bizarre adventures. That's for Zod. Okay, JoJo. We'll go with JoJo. Yeah. I'd like to do an art stream again if we could. If I could, sooner rather than later, but I need to get a new computer chair because I'm scared my computer chair is going to collapse at any second. Spider-Man. Spider-Man's. I love Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man's great. He's cool. He's cool and everybody loves him. I was going to complain about the Spider-Man comics for a minute, but whatever. The Spider-Man comics have been in this weird, like, not great place for a couple years. Joe Kelly is currently in charge of the mainline Spider-Man comics, and I don't know. I like Joe Kelly a lot, so I don't know what's the allergy to just doing straightforward Peter Parker stories nowadays, which we seem to not want to do. There's this whole like cosmic Spider-Man thing. Did you like it? Yeah, that's a good one. Good. Okay. One Piece. Okay, who do you think could win in a fight, Joseph? Jojo. Peter Parker or Luffy the Monkey? Who do you think would win? Who do you think would win, Peter or Luffy? I haven't seen it. I'm just kidding. I always thought, yeah. I always thought, I don't know, Zod, you might agree with me on this, that we did miss out on there not being a Dragon Ball Superman crossover at some point. I've thought about this. I was thinking about this for a while. There should have been a crossover. They should DC. They should have tried to arrange it. Doesn't have to be anything major. No, but there should have been, right? Because Goku is essentially the anime equivalent. Yeah, no, but Goku is essentially the anime equivalent of Superman in most ways. Yeah, yeah. So they should have tried to arrange a crossover at some point. I think. I don't know. Yeah, but that doesn't count because um, who owns Power Rangers now? But that would have been an event. That would have been an event. Yeah, I mean that's cool. I actually didn't know that they cross over. I mean, he can. He can. Joe, okay, here's a question, Joe. I'm curious because this is something that's been on my mind a while. Did you do know that Dragon Ball Z is a sequel, right? Jojo, do you know that Dragon Ball Z is actually a sequel series? Zod, did you see the One Punch Man reference in Invincible as a joke? Yeah, no, it's a sequel because the original Dragon Ball Z is when Goku is like a little kid. Um, yeah, Two Punch. Uh, uh, he's Two Punch Man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The joke is he's as powerful as One Punch Man, but he has to do it in two punches. But he never gets to his second punch. He can take anybody out in two punches, but they always clock him before after one. Uh, that one's fun. I like that one. Yeah. Everybody was super happy with the third season, by the way. Everybody was super happy. Nobody was upset. Nobody. It really is. I was looking at the original like webcomic before when the guy was just doing it himself, and I'm like, I shouldn't be. I'm quite insecure about my art skills, but looking at that, I think to myself, what am I doing? What am I doing? Have you ever seen the original One Punch Man webcomic? Yeah, Zod, not the manga, but the very original One Punch Man comic. Yeah. So if you don't know, One Punch Man was um, started as a webcomic that the writer himself drew. Not necessarily a great artist. Anyways, let me see. One second. Yeah, I do. I don't know a lot about it, but I've seen some clips and stuff. Can I show you guys some art I did a little while ago? Because I don't think I've shown people some art I've done for a while. I drew this a little while ago. I was pretty happy with it. Yeah, I'm not like the best artist in the world, but yeah. If I can't show off art here, where can I show? So this. Look at me. I'm so far up. I'm so far up. Yes, Samus. Samus Aran. No, I really do like that. I think that's so funny. I've only read a little bit of the manga. I want to get fully into it because the manga looks like something that's right up my alley. Uh, sure, I can try. The manga looks something right up my alley as a thing. Because I always like that. Yeah. I always like stuff like that. I've yet to finish writing. I have some preliminary. I had an idea once for a superhero. This is more of like a parody hero more than anything. But the basic premise was he wore a fireproof suit. Like he wore like a fireproof suit, and all his only real power was he would just light himself on fire and fight crime that way. Like he would just throw himself into like villain. He would just like attack people while lit on fire, and that was like his only power. I don't know. That made me laugh. No, all he does is wear like a fight. The joke is all he does is wear like a fireproof suit. So he can't like do anything else but light himself on fire. That was my bit. He's yeah. Yes, from Micro. No, I was gonna call him light himself on fire man. I had a more serious idea a while back. Okay, so yeah. I had a more serious idea a while back. So I had this idea for a character. Yeah. He's not good at names, sir. He's just here to help people save people's lives by lighting himself on fire and hitting people. I had a more serious idea for a superhero thing. So my basic idea was it was going to be about a character who's kind of a scavenger. And what he does is he goes around to superhero. He goes around when like superheroes and supervillains fight each other, and he kind of steals their technology. He'll like break into supervillain layers and steal their technology, then repurpose it, and sell it back to people. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Marvel, I always think famously has a bit of an issue with its film. Marvel has some great villains, but they never like do anything with them. I don't know. When was the last like? Yeah. Yeah. When was the last? When do you, Joseph? Who is your Jojo? Who's your favorite supervillain? Yeah. To save people. Who's your favorite supervillain, Jojo? I feel like your favorite supervillain. Yeah. I mean, usually supervillains are motivated by uh like either greed or like malice or I mean most classic supervillains are kind of motivated by just pure egotism or malice or greed. Um then there's slightly I don't know that. Who is that guy? Um but then, you got supervillains with a little bit more of depth. Yeah, with much more depth, and it's like, yeah, Mr. Yeah, I was about to say somebody like Mr. Freeze, who's sympathetic. Yeah, Did you ever see the Batman Beyond episode uh, where Mr. Freeze comes back? I was thinking about one, Batman Beyond is great and everybody should watch it. Two, that one was also really sad. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I was thinking about that. Do you remember this the Zeta project? The Batman Beyond spin-off that happened? I feel like nobody ever talks about that show. Um what was I thinking? Yeah. What was I thinking? Yeah. Yeah, and there's guys like in it for money. There's guys like in it to prove they're smarter or better than people. Water energy, raindrops. Yeah. Yeah, Terminator. Yeah, but specifically, I'll throw this out there, Zod. Specifically, the Hulk TV show from like the 70s is very much what it's like because it's about a character on the road looking for a cure and getting into like hijinks along the way. Yeah. The fact, you know what's so weird about that Hulk TV show? You know, they tried to set up a few other Marvel shows with it. People forget about that. There was, because they tried to, yeah. Yes, exactly. Hmm. Well, okay, Jojo. They did fight uh in the comics once, Doctor Strange and the Hulk. That was in World War Hulk. Where for a collection of reasons, Hulk was pretty justifiably angry, I would say, at uh a lot of superheroes in Marvel for because they did something kind of bad. Um Anyway, so but he laid siege to New York and conquered it. Um, and the story, and anyway, so Doctor Strange attempting to stop the Hulk taps into his ultimate power and nearly destroys the city in itself. Yeah, I like Pac a lot, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because the sequel to that, World War Hulk, is, in my opinion, one of the best Hulk stories. No, Planet Hulk. Sorry, Planet Hulk is one of the best Hulk series of all time. But the way they do it, well, the way they do it is a little. They started as a little bit of a sticky wicket, I would say, a bit of a sticky wicket. But I love Planet Hulk. I love Planet Hulk. That is such a good series. The fact that that series happened because they wanted to make sure to get the Hulk out of the way because of Civil War, and Civil War is so stupid. I don't know. Maybe this is a controversial opinion, but the more and more I look at it, the more and more dumb I'm like. This is such. It's such a dumb. Uh, we're certainly friendly. We're pals. Um, Um, yeah. Yeah. Especially, there's some Mark Millar is somebody oh my God. Okay, this is kind of a dumb conspiracy theory for me. I don't believe this is real. But I've always been resentful of the Iron Man, of what they did to Iron Man specifically, because if people don't know, while Iron Man was pretty much to be made the ultimate villain in Marvel for a minute there, and like it starts with Iron Man almost having kind of a point. It's like maybe there should be a superhero registry so we don't have random people with like the powers of atomic missiles. Yeah, yeah. It starts out kind of reasonably. Iron Man is like, well, maybe like if you want to be a superhero, like you should tell, there should be some sort of way to like, you know, put you under some legal control. And then it gets to like by the end of the series, like Iron Man is like he's like arresting people. He's like arresting people and sending them to an extra dimensional hell prison because he doesn't want anybody to get in the way of his ultimate power grab. And I'm like, the more you get into it, it's like, weren't both sides supposed to be somewhat reasonable in this story, guys? Wasn't that supposed to be the premise? That both sides of the were supposed to be somewhat reasonable, and this was supposed to be a nuanced debate. And then you have like, yeah. Okay, Jojo. It was really nice meeting you. Hope to see you around sometime. Yeah, exactly. It was dumb. It's dumb. I don't know. Because because quickly one side of the issue poisoned itself. That's the problem. Because quickly one side of the issue quickly poisoned itself. Like, yeah. Yeah, well, because if it was presented as the way it was of like, hey, maybe if you want to be an extra legal law enforcer, maybe we should have like some tests to make sure you're not like a crazy person who can just like people who will just blow people up with like a look. Like maybe we should have like some way of making sure this doesn't all go very wrong and that random people, if we want to apply that sort of realism, like maybe there's like a logic to it. I mean, that implies that I guess in real life that I think cops are good, which cops know what they're doing. So maybe, you know, yeah. But it quickly accelerates to everybody with powers is an enemy. We'll arrest them in an extra legal prison where there are no laws and we can do whatever we and we'll torture and kill people. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, and it's like at some point it gets from maybe they have a point. The pro registration side maybe has a point too. Oh no, these are just fascist thugs who have like done a semi coup on America. Yeah, semi coup on America and have like are using semi legal power to do whatever they feel like. And here's the thing: the semi fascist like villain of the piece who had totally destroyed everybody's lives, locked people up illegally, and was like obviously being presented as a villain. Right then and there, that's when the Iron Man movie came out. Right then and there, right as like Iron Man was doing his absolute worst, being the exact worst version of the character you could be, an absolute horrible villain. First Iron Man movie comes out. I remember the whole time I have this memory of the whole time the Iron Man movie was on its way out. I was thinking, wow, man, they're gonna really have to wrap this up pretty quickly because like somehow they're gonna have to justify. They're gonna have to like quickly turn Iron Man back to good, or it's like it's all gonna go very wrong. It's all going to go very wrong. It feels weird that they're not prepping for the possibility that new fans will be coming in. We got to get Iron Man. We got to move Iron Man away from this. Are we still doing the Civil War? And I just imagine new comic book fans coming in going like, "Oh yeah, that Iron Man movie was awesome." Looking for a book and seeing like Iron Man like I don't know, arresting Sue Storm and trying to kill Spider-Man or something. And it's like, huh, well, I guess this isn't for me. And that was the end of the public ever thinking about getting into comic books. So yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, there's some good parts, but it was a dumb the problem I don't I Mark Millar is somebody I don't particularly like as a writer. When you compare him to like Garth Ennis, who I think does what Millard tries to do, but does it a lot, yeah, a lot funnier. Does it a lot better. Like Ennis is what Millar thinks he's doing, and Ennis is not good. Ennis can be quite bad at times, but uh, over the years, I've actually come around to Ennis as a writer. I think Ennis has written enough like good stuff that I can like enough stuff that is good to near classic that I can like I'm willing to fight for him as a that he should have more respect as a writer. That I don't mind him, but yeah, Millar I just don't like. Sure, what I don't like about Millar's character is just a bit of rant. Yeah, yeah. No, I've been the more I think about Ennis, the more I'm like what he has some really good stuff. He has some really like Preacher is great. Preacher is a great series. He actually did a weirdly good reboot of The Shadow a few years back that I really liked. Um, uh, you know, um, he has some good stuff in his repertoire, and I'm like, thinking back to it, I'm like, yeah, no, Ennis is good, whereas Millar, I don't know. I have no idea how like Millar has gotten like was like the most successful creator of comics for a while. Yeah. Well, Ennis is probably the best like Punisher writer. Yeah. But yeah. Weirdly, okay, here's if I could for a second. What kind of in the end sold me on Ennis, made me start really rethinking Ennis as a writer, is he did a reboot of Dick Dastardly and Muttley. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. No, nobody talks about this really particularly any much. So Ennis did. They brought in Ennis to do a reboot of all things Dick Dastardly and his flying machines, and it is the weirdest thing I've ever read. But it was absolutely hilarious, and I was like, okay, maybe there is something to him as a guy. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm willing to give him a little bit more credit as a writer than I think I would. Um, yeah, he does have his moments where he's kind of funny. Whereas Millar never hits, in my opinion. I've never once seen Millar hit once. Yeah, I don't know. It's like Punisher is a character that I don't know. Frankly, I think I've seen enough of the Punisher as a character. Like, I'm good. I'm good for Punisher for now. Like, Punisher was very much like a um a creature of like the 70s. He's very much like a riff on like the Charles Bronson Death Wish movies and stuff like that. Um and he was interesting, and I think Ennis did interesting things with him. But like I I say Charles Bronson where the obvious is also like Travis Bickle and stuff like that. And it's like part of the problem is, yeah, he's a very pulp character, and outside of like Iraq or so, as I mean, not outside of like Vietnam, and maybe you can update it to be like Iraq or something. And the kind of malaise that people have, especially of like these post-war eras, he doesn't totally make sense. Yeah, but it's the part of the problem is I think the writers who write for him have a little bit too much reverence for him as a concept at times. Punisher works better if you have a little bit of a disconnect or something. I don't know. I don't like that there are people out there who like are like, you know, this is all fun until people start taking like like pop culture stuff seriously as a serious way to live your life. Yeah. Well, I would argue Ennis is probably the only guy who really, yeah, has a disconnect with all this. Like, the thing about with Ennis and his Punisher is, his Punisher is kind of a half satire of things as well. Yeah. Punisher is kind of is a little bit of a satire of like stuff. Yeah. But it's like when people kind of treat him very seriously and like this is the way people should do. I get very, because I there is definitely a group of people who's like, yeah, yeah, because Punisher is definitely in that sort of like Travis Bickle, like Charles, like Death Wish sort of thing. Um, if you are unaware, the Death Wish movies are very different from the Death Wish novel. Yeah, Rambo is another good comparison. You know, yeah, it's like these people who are like taught who only, you know, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense as like this idea of like the Punisher is a guy who only ever knew violence, and that's the way he connected with the world, and he was taught that by the war and stuff. And once that is, it's very much a post-war sort of thing of like these are like the nightmare things that somebody has brought home, and he treats it like the world. But when it's like I dislike Punisher stories when they're like, yeah, he's like a cool guy. He's like a cool guy who does cool things, and we should like just be like him, you know? We should just do what the Punisher does, which is just gun down anybody who, yeah, yeah, gun down anybody who was, like Captain America is like, Captain America is like the ideal guy. He's like the guy he's the guy you want to be, whereas like Punisher is the guy who's been failed. But yeah. Um yeah. What I really hate is there is a certain subset of fans, and I may have been, as an edgy teenager, I may have been one of them for a little bit. That is like, well, Batman should just be the Punisher. He should just kill everybody. I'm like, no, well, I don't know, but yeah. I used to be really into like Punisher comics when I was a teenager. I've talked about this before. I used to be really into Punisher. Yeah, no, but there's definitely a subset of fans who think this way. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. Batman would instantly lose, I think, all credibility if you started to just randomly kill people as a character. Yeah. I went through a bit of an edgy teenager phase where I was really into the Punisher. Now that I'm out of that, I was like, I don't know if I was super into that. But yeah. Well, Zod, it's been about 100 minutes. I think this is a good enough length for a stream. I got other things I want to do today. It's really good talking to you. I was like talking about superheroes and older movies that Gen Z seems not to be interested in. Don't. He's not. Right. Anyways, what I was going to say about Death Wish, I should point this out because people. It's an interesting fact. Death Wish the book is very different from Death Wish the movie, and Death Wish the book is like, honestly, like Taxi Driver is a better adaptation of the Death Wish book than the actual Death Wish adaptation. Like Taxi Driver is closer in like feel. Taxi Driver is much more what the Death Wish book is like, and it is very much a dark social like satire in a way, and a deconstruction of these kind of vigilante man mythos. And the film kind of missed that point, a lot of it missed the point, and just made it like, yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if we gunned people down? And anyways, I just wanted to make that clear if people didn't know that. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. Woo, my finger is huge. Woo, pop.